This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see a healthy Carson Wentz and the world champion Philadelphia Eagles face off against Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. The setting in this dome just serves to amplify the excitement of the folks in New Orleans as their Saints burst from the tunnel a moment ago. They're set, and we're set as well as the Saints get ready to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come off a disappointment last time out that put an end to their modest 3-game win streak. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sport. Not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. Second down. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
And running back Mark Ingram is coming into his own as a runner in the NFL. Over 1,000 yards each the last 2 seasons. And now he's teaming with Alvin Kamara in a backfield where both of them can run the football effectively and both of them can catch out of the backfield as well.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On second down, Kamara. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
He is going to find Hill here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Ready? You ready?
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Looking for Gannon. It's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The numbers for Jeffrey from last week: 6 catches, 94 yards.
And he's able to pull that last pass in, but this is usually a pretty tough unit to try and maneuver against. They're in the top 10 in the league against the pass, and you and I both know there's not much difference between 1 and 10.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The numbers for Thomas from last week's effort: 5 catches, 63 yards.
And he was able to pull that last pass in, but he's going to face a tall order here because he's going up against the number 2 unit in the NFL against the pass.
Ready? Yellow lady, yellow lady.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Ready? Yellow lady.
They go play action here on 1st down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jordan Hicks not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Brandon, with the last couple of plays for the offense not being good at all, my thought process as a coordinator, get the ball in the hands of my best player and see if I can salvage anything out of this drive.
Ready. Yellow lady.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a first down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. That one intended for his fullback, John Kuhn. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Wentz. Caught right side, it's Jeffrey. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Here's Ajayi. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
It'll be a gain of 9, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
This is Ajayi. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs. In the top 5 in the NFL, it's all a mindset. And I'm guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19. From the red zone now, Wentz. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 more there and another 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the...
Now the ball comes loose. The Saints say they have it, and they do.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Breeze now. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And that is incomplete. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Again, this is Kamara. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the gun on 3rd down, Breeze. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Thomas. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent game,
Still
but
3rd
all
down.
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Ready? You ready?
Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Oh, nice spin.
Well, that brought back bad memories.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Wentz now on 1st down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From midfield, here's Wentz. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Into the red zone. Wentz. Open man left side is Wallace, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Wentz going to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Dallas Goedert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. The Saints defense getting ready here, heading back onto the field. Now, last time out, they gave up the touchdown. Here, though, this defense in prime position.
This gives them a chance to go ahead and take the last possession and throw it away. Not even worry about it anymore. They can be in attack mode now. They can be the ones who can change this game and change field position and give their offense a great opportunity.
You mean attack mode by what they call here defensively?
Exactly. Great spot to have the offense pinned back. Don't let them out and maybe pressure advantage.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Alex Okafor in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And avoids the contact by sliding. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Come on now. Let's go.
Wentz now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards, and it'll be second and about a yard. They fake the give. Now Wentz steps away. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position. Couldn't hold on. Third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Here's Wentz to throw. He's got his man. That's Wallace. A first down for the Eagles. Wentz finding the former Raven Wallace.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. 81, 81. Here we go. 120.
On first down, Wentz. He's going to rifle one deep left into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. So we've reached halftime here, and it's our visitors, the Eagles, leading this one. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter.
And while that play was unsuccessful to start the second half, I'm not sure that you just totally abandon what you do running the football. Maybe you make some adjustments in your run game and do things a little bit differently. That doesn't necessarily...
Trying to get it to Wheaton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with it.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Nigel Bradham in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. And, Charles, they only needed a yard there. They try to pass the football. What do you think?
Well, I can't really go all out and kill them for the call because that 3rd and 1 fake and throw it over the top for a big play, that often does work. But in this situation, the pressure got to him.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now a play fake. Wentz. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Throwing on first is Wentz. And he rifles one incomplete. Nelson Aguilar, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Now Wentz. On the crossing route, complete. That's Wallace. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. So after the INT, it's Brees. Well, this is caught by Ginn. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Brees going to throw. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. Brees on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans 1st.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. And oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play there for the Saints. And even 40 yards.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Ready. You ready?
Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Carson Wentz and the Eagles make their way out to the field. He has to sort of pick himself up off the mat now, Charles. They were winning at halftime, now losing it. He's not playing well.
Sometimes you get into a position where you get a little bit too greedy. You feel great about how you're playing. Good first half. Hey, I can do even more in the second half. And then you make throws that you're not supposed to. As you said, he's got to start to turn things around.
See if he can erase those 2 third-quarter interceptions from his mind.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing now is Wentz. That's into the hands of Wallace over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
To throw, it's Wentz. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw in that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle. Third, he couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to it? Maybe his rhythm is just off. He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Wide open receiver complete. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Wentz now to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Ajayi. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. They run again with Ajayi. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the red zone now, Wentz. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Come on now. Come on now. Let's go.
On play action, Wentz. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on third down conversions. They need a yard here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be fourth down and a few inches. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on fourth down.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Now Wentz. Got to have this one. Flushed out right. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints will have the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on fourth.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On second down, here's Breeze. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
You ready?
On first down, Breeze. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Over the middle, complete. That's Gibson.
Holding, offense.
So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Now Wentz. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On third and long, it's Wentz. Looking deep for his tight end, Ertz. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Ready? You ready?
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
4 down, 4 down. Ready?
Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And shedding the tackle, and now some room. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football, and we just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. To throw is Breeze. Throw left side, taken in by Hill, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And they'll get this down to the 10. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. They'll run here with Ingram. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got it second and goal now as they look for that final dagger.
Ready?
Breeze going to throw here. This will be caught just inside the 10. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Ready. United.
They'll try to run it in. It's Kamara. Call it no gain on the play, so no help there. And now 4th and goal. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Lutz puts this one through. And that now makes this a 15-7 game. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game. There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Here's Carson Wentz now and the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field in need of both the touchdown and the two-point conversion here, down 8.
It's time to just set.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Tyler Davison in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll.
Brandon, you got to have some urgency here. You got to get the guys back to the line of scrimmage, but the problem is all 30 yards downfield after that play.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack, now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
So another big shot dodge there defensively. Now they're just one more incompletion away from salting away this victory. And I know this feeling. They're almost giddy, but they have to stay focused and locked in. They can make one big mistake and throw it all away.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it would appear that the Saints are going to win this football game. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
Breeze is looking to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hill. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Saints, that's now 5 wins on the campaign as they get the job done here. And they'll get